Nate Fector for RMU to our right. Face off in midfield. And Airforce takes the face off. Something that's been tough to do against the Colonials. Bo Columbus has been dominant.
Yeah, Columbus is, can basically label him as an elite face-off specialist, but right now, Airforce has gone it together a little bit in that second half. Talked about winning 3 of the last 6, I believe now, and winning this opening draw here to start this half.
Wes Peen handling it way outside as Airforce swaps players. Vransky receives the pass after coming onto the field and throws it behind the net. Iago kicks it to the outside. Just stutter steps, throw behind the net. Now they get a man in front. Shot, Fector with a save. Inside was Stottlemyre. Let a tough shot go, but Fector with another save.
Talked a lot about Fector during that halftime break and the way he was able to make some big stops in that second quarter. And right there, point blank, what a stop.
Crossfield pass. Here comes the shot on the second attempt. And that one goes wide from Burr.
And really it's gonna be interesting to see what the Colonials do here in the second half. Talked to Craig McDonald about it, but Army really needs to find a way to push it inside, find guys cutting in to the teeth of the defense.
That one shot high and wide from Moon. Burr will put it in play in the far corner. Still 43 to get a shot on net. 7-4 Air Force. The Colonials have the last 2 in the game and trying to make it 3. Now jogging in with it is Peltier. Gets it to a man in between a double team. Ball loose on the turf, and Air Force comes away with it. They'll kick it back to netminder Merrick, who sends it up ahead, but misses the intended target. It's turned over to RMU as Edwards comes away with it in white. Transition mistake for Merrick, and the Falcons give it right back to Robert Morris. And that's one way to slow down Air Force. Don't let them have the ball. Riom for Robert Morris. Gives it to McLennan, who comes on. McCormick to the outside. McLennan goes around a screen. And the ball is chipped off his stick from behind, but able to just save it was Brennan. Callum Brennan a little quiet in this game. Thought he had one earlier. McCormick behind the net, Prezioso. Here's Burr. Even that's too far for him to shoot. McCormick. Shot and a score, McCormick from 11 yards out through traffic. The senior from British Columbia, Joel McCormick, makes it 7-5.
It's a key goal for the Colonials to start off this second half. Had to face Air Force winning that face-off to start things. But a long possession here for Robert Morris. McCormick, who's come along nicely in this back half of the season, his 7th goal of the year, but had a goal and an assist in both the semifinals and championship games in the NEC tournament, keeping that going here with a huge goal.
And Columbus wins another face-off, but his pass is deflected away, and Air Force with another defensive play. Boy, with RMU, all the momentum, Air Force forcing a big turnover. RMU within 2 now. Now Air Force is scoring drought. Out of bounds on the near side, it looked like. But no call from the officials. Colonial bench going wild. And Air Force keeps the ball. Craig McDonald giving the Stripes an earful.
Yeah, looked clear from our vantage point that he did step out, but just lofted that ball back in the middle, and play continues. You see it down the bottom left, right there, tiptoeing the sideline, jumps in the air, and I guess was midair to get that ball out.
Here comes the shot, and it's in! Air Force back on the board. It's Alexander Stepney. And the Falcons needed that one after a long drought.
Yeah, good response goal here from Air Force. Stepney, not a usual suspect in the goal-scoring department for Air Force this year. Just his third goal of the season, but from straight away, you see there, great end zone angle from our camera crew. See that one open up for Stepney to get a really good look straight on Fector, and he found a spot and buried it.
Air Force. And how big was that forced turnover for the Falcons? Getting the ball back after Colonials were building all that momentum. RMU wins that face-off. Now they try to get it right back. Colonials in transition. A long sticker playing it. Still on the field, gives it up. Here comes the shot over the shoulder, and it's high and wide from Padone. And now off the field goes Colin Davis, the midfielder. RMU. Turning it up, moving in. Here comes the shot, and it's stopped. Save made by Merrick. Riom trying to get the Colonials back on the board.
Yeah, Riom came in with that substitution and felt like everything slowed down defensively. It was just him racing around the defense, and then got a pretty good look in on Merrick. Another real good stop from Merrick. Hasn't had a ton in this game so far, just his fourth save of the evening.
Air Force back in the Colonial zone. Making substitutions, so they pull it out. 8-5 lead, Falcons here in this NCAA opening round game. Live in Pittsburgh on the turf at Joe Walton Stadium. Now ripping it through and scoring is Wes Peen. His second of the game and 26th of the year, and Air Force with back-to-back goals. 9-5 Falcons.
Peen with his second of the game. You just see him dip the shoulder on Hecht. And Peen was a guy that was limited by the Utes in that championship game. No points. One of the top point producers for the Falcons. Again, his second goal of the game. And Peen, prior to that, those 2 games prior, had 9 points in 2 games. So you know what he can do and the way he can produce. And that goal, just a tough one to get to the net past the Colonials defense.
Columbus back to dominating the face-off circle, gives it back to RMU, and now they're in need of a goal. After Air Force puts up 2 in a row, as they have their life back offensively, do the Falcons. Colonials had cut it to a 2-goal game. Now Air Force back on top by 4. Wanted to shoot that passed it to the far side. It was Moon, but too much defense from Air Force.
Yeah, another great example there as Moon gave it to Peltier inside and then just got the double team. That's what Air Force has tried to do for the most part. Any guy that gets inside for Robert Morris is going to attract the double team and quickly shut down again by the Falcons, leading to that turnover.
Falcons getting players on. Now they got a chance here to equal their biggest lead of the game. Air Force. First time in the NCAA tournament since 2017. Trying to advance to the next round with a win here on the road. Kick it outside. Rassus behind the net. Airforce still with 15 to shoot. Driggs prowling around in front of the net. Now he goes behind the cage. Colonials break up the pass and scoop it up, and the turnover forced. Charlie Marsh has it for RMU.
Great play by the freshman defender in Marsh. Getting it out of harm's way, too. Always got to make sure you follow through that with that pass, too. RMU looks to clear now.
Fector gets it up ahead. Bringing it across midfield is McCormick. And RMU back on offense. Looking for their first goal of the second half. Well, since McCormick got the first one. And back-to-back goals for Airforce. RMU trailing by 4. Burr has been quiet in this half. McCormick's got it. Back to McLennan. Now McCormick fakes the shot, goes to the left hand, takes a big shot, but the Colonials get the goal. Flag on the board. So Robert Morris makes it 9-6 on a hard-fought goal as they climb to within 3. Wow. What a hit, but it's penalized. And the referee's talking it over. But the goal will count. And for Robert Morris, Callum Brennan gets the goal.
What a crazy sequence that was led by that hit. But nonetheless, for Robert Morris, gets the ball in the back of the net, past Merrick. So just as quickly as Airforce able to get 2 goals, RMU gets a good, big response goal as they're trying to figure things out on the field and take a timeout.
Brennan with his first of the game, and the Colonials within 3. Airforce 9-6 lead on Robert Morris here in Pittsburgh. Back in a minute on ESPN+. Gets the goal, and the Colonials still with the man-up opportunity. So big face-off here for Bo Columbus.
Connor Albertson for the Falcons using all of that 6'1", 173-pound frame, but gets called for the unnecessary roughness. So RMU a minute man-up advantage here, trying to double up.
Columbus does his job. NEC Player of the Year. I don't know how many face-off specialists win that award.
I mean, set single-season program records for RMU in face-offs and ground balls. 123 ground balls coming into this game. So just doing it all for the Colonials in that middle part of the field.
Pass is dropped, ball on the turf. Ooh, and Burr able to come away with it. Moon dropped it, but Burr was right there to scoop it up. Colonials maintained possession here, man up. Trying to get back to within 2. Burr. And the pass out of his reach. He's going to chase it towards the sideline, but he's not going to be able to get there. And it rolls out of bounds, so a mistake by the Colonials, unforced error. And they turn it back over to Airforce. Penalty expires, so the Falcons back to full strength. Colonials unable to take advantage, and Airforce defense comes up again.
Yeah, wasted opportunity there from Robert Morris. But, Garrett, as you just said there, the defense from Airforce just so stout, not letting any sort of movement inside. Basically pitch and catch between Moon and Burr, and then that finally causes a turnover.
Nothing easy for Robert Morris today in the goal department. And like you've been talking about, Nate, can't get guys open inside. Airforce just closing the gaps and protecting that crease. And now Airforce on the attack. Falcons to the far side. Peen, another one. The hat trick. Wes Peen delivers to put Airforce into double digits. It's 10-6 Falcons.
Wes Pino, so similar to that other goal he just had. This time gets the pass, switches hands, and then drives to the net and fires it past Fector. You see there, catching it on that right hand, switching to his left, and then whipping it home past Fector. Another defensive breakdown here for the Colonials. Peen just getting in behind. Draws that back end defender. But too late for the Colonials with Zach Tucker.
Triggs with 3 goals in the first quarter. Had 4 early in the second quarter. But now Peen with 3 of his own for the Falcons. Robert Morris with the ball. Now, if you're going to be playing catch-up, like Robert Morris, you need a guy like Bo Columbus winning faceoffs. Colonials trailing by 4. Here at home, Bobby Rayome. Burr gets the Colonials back on the board from up top. David Burr, and it's 10-7.
We talked about earlier in the game, Burr can really score from every which way. This time, he's still on the outside, but bounces it low. I think Jake Merrick just not ready for that angle maybe coming in here as you see Burr coming inside towards your screen and then bounces it on its way in. And Merrick trying to go low to make the save, but just cannot come up with it. Burr, another big goal for Robert Morris to hang around.
Hat trick for Burr.
The RMU goal scored by number 47, David Burr.
34th of the year for Burr. And this time the Falcons win the face-off. Airforce with a 3-goal lead. Airforce. And it's given back to Robert Morris. Airforce trailed 1-0 in the first minute of the game. But then scored the next 3, and they have not trailed since early in the first quarter. Colonials have gotten to within 2. Airforce is led by as many as 5. Opening round game of the NCAA Men's Division I Lacrosse Tournament here in Pittsburgh. Joe Walton Stadium at Robert Morris University. Colonials hosting the visiting Air Force Falcons. Great crowd here. Students getting out of class and rolling over here to the Joe. Hoping for a Robert Morris comeback here on their home field. Air Force, winners of 6 straight, coming off an Atlantic Sun title. Here's Bobby Rayome. Rayome up top. Shoving match with Cody Gross. Now Burr. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Down low to McCormick. Tries to go across and does. Here comes the shot, and it's snagged out of the air by Merrick. Jake Merrick, senior goalkeeper from Florida.
Great pass by the Colonials to get it over to McLennan through that defense, but Merrick, he tracked that one all the way in. It's his 5th of the game.
Here's Driggs on the other side. Draws the Colonials' attention as Marsh guards him.
Tough assignment for Marsh. Talked about him, the freshman defender for Robert Morris, has played a lot this year.
Getting some NCAA tournament experience. Colonials do have some of that on this team, as we talked about. We're in the tournament in 2022, these Colonials. 10-7 Air Force and Driggs behind the net. There's Marsh holding that stick out. Defending number 1. Colonials now doing their job defensively. Forcing the Falcons outside. 12 on the shot clock. Here it comes from way outside. And it misses the cage. Air Force will hold on to it. That was Iago letting that one go. Sunny evening here in Pittsburgh. Glad you could join us for this lacrosse matchup from Pittsburgh. Pass behind the intended target. It was well guarded. He was looking for Stottlemyre, but he had a man all over him. Robert Morris ball with 1:17 to go in the third quarter.
And for Stadelmeyer so far, he's been held off the goal sheet so far, coming in with a 7-game goal scoring streak. So another one of those Falcon attackers that has been so good at producing so far this year, 21 goals.
Ona's trying to get it back to 2 before heading to the fourth quarter. Behind the net with it is Prezioso. Keene. High to Moon. As Robert Moore is still looking for an opening inside. Prezioso curls around, takes some hits, twists, turns, shoots, save made. Merrick makes another.
Merrick just looking so calm and composed in the cage for Airforce. Doesn't fall for anything that Prezioso was trying to do. Tracks that ball all the way in again.
Now Airforce with 18 seconds in the quarter, trying to extend their lead. Leading 10-7. Here's Driggs. Driggs. Whoa, had a great look inside. He was trying to find Alex Brismani. And it's Robert Moore's ball. 2 seconds to go in the quarter. Colonials will just launch it the other way, and time runs out. Oh boy, 15 minutes to go, and a 3-goal lead for the visiting Falcons. NCAA tournament